family is using tragedy to try and help others. Taylor Fleming brings us to an event for parents who think their children might have autism. Taylor.
Lizzie, autism therapists tell me there are several barriers for families who think their child might have autism. Even getting a diagnosis can be a struggle that requires several appointments with a specialist. Thursday was the Leo's Impact Autism Awareness Expo on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University. Austin Egbers and his wife founded the initiative after they lost their son Leo, who they believe had autism after he drowned. The parents feel that if they had known about symptoms like attraction to water and wandering, it could have made a difference. They are determined that no one else should experience what they did. Seeing everyone at Thursday's event was emotional for them.
It's a huge part of our healing journey as far as the grief goes, and just knowing that we're trying to help the community and seeing it make an impact just fulfills our, wildest dreams for this whole project.
Lifelong Access, a McLean County organization that provides services to people with disabilities, hosted the event. It brought together advocacy organizations from throughout the community to help families get the resources they need. Resources they say can be hard for families to get. Applied behavior analysis therapy, for example, is often unavailable without a diagnosis. One therapist said how difficult this can be for patients and their families.
Insurance is a big barrier, so especially within the community of gaining therapeutic access to, like myself, ABA therapy, insurance companies won't accept the therapy without the diagnoses.
The organizers hope that Thursday's event put people in touch with help like headphones, sensory-friendly experiences, and books. For Leo's family, they hope that other parents know they're not alone. In addition to the Leo's Impact events, the family also founded the Leo's Library Initiative. This helps distribute resources as families wait for assessment and diagnosis. Lizzie?